Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty incredible. The power of a single choice in a story, and how it can completely flip everything you think you know about a narrative on its head.
Too late. Just two words. That's it. But put them in the right place, at the right time, and they can be absolutely bone-chilling. We're going to figure out exactly what that context is, and then what happens when we decide to just change.
Because that's the big question here, isn't it? How can one tiny decision, one little fork in the narrative road, transform a story from, say, pure terror into one about triumph? Well, let's put on our detective hats and find out.
All right, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off with a pretty ordinary person and a totally ordinary place. It's time to meet our main character, Maya.
So who is Maya? Well, she's the kind of person you might not even really notice. The source material paints her as the quietest girl in the entire building, someone who definitely likes to keep to herself.
You can picture her, right? She's always got her headphones on, totally in her own world, with a book practically glued to her hand. It's like her own personal force field against all the noise.
She's an observer, you know? Not a participant. She's not getting mixed up in the building drama or the gossip chains. And honestly, that makes her the absolute perfect, most unexpected hero for what's about to happen.
And then it happens. A single, muffled sound that just rips through the quiet bubble she's built around herself. And now she has a choice to make. Does she ignore it, or does she go see what it was?
So her curiosity, or maybe it's just plain fear, it wins out. She steps outside her door, and what she finds next is going to drag her right into the middle of this whole mystery. Okay, let's walk through this. She creeps out into this dimly lit stairwell, and halfway up the stairs, she sees something. A phone, lying on the concrete, screen cracked, but it's still on. And glowing on that broken screen, a single message, just sitting there, unsent.
If you don't hear from me in 5 minutes, call the police. Room 304. Whoa. Okay. So this is not just about a random scream anymore. This is a lifeline, a desperate digital SOS, and Maya is the only one who's seen it. The stakes just got terrifyingly real.
But she doesn't even have a second to really process what she's holding. Before she can think, the situation gets a whole lot worse. The source of that scream, it's coming right for her. Then she hears it. Thump, thump. Heavy footsteps coming from the floor above. A figure starts coming down the stairs, a man in a dark hoodie. And as he gets closer, she sees his hands. They're gloved, and they're streaked with red. He sees her, and he stops dead.
Her heart is just hammering in her chest. I mean, can you imagine? But in that one split second, just pure instinct takes over. Her thumb moves, she hits the screen, and the message is sent. It's this tiny, tiny action, but an incredible act of bravery.
And the man, he just smiles. And then he whispers those two words we started with. Too late. And that's it. That's where the story ends. Or is it?
You see what we all just experienced right there? That was a choice. That was a storyteller's decision to leave us hanging, right on the edge, in total suspense.
But hang on. What if that's not the end? What if our quiet, book-loving hero, Maya, had another play up her sleeve? What if the storyteller decided to give her one?
And this is where it gets so cool. The actual source material for this little story offers another path. It says flat out that there's an alternate twist ending where Maya outsmarts him. The story we just heard is not the only version, it's just one possibility.
And these two endings create completely different experiences, right? The cliffhanger, that's pure horror. It's all about helplessness, and it leaves you with this awful unanswered question. But the outsmart ending, that turns the story into a thriller. It's about empowerment. It's about resolution. It gives us an answer where the first one just left silence.
And this all brings us right back to the main point of this whole explainer, the incredible, almost unbelievable power a storyteller has, especially when it comes to the end of a story.
You see, the ending isn't just the last few sentences. It's not just about tying up loose ends. It's the filter that changes how we see everything that came before it. It's a total game changer.
I mean, just think about it. That single choice, to have her outsmart him, it changes the genre from horror to thriller.
It redefines Maya from a helpless victim into a resourceful hero. It flips our emotional state from fear and dread to satisfaction and relief. And maybe most importantly, it completely changes the story's message about what courage and taking action really mean.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. Which story actually sticks with you more? The one that's all wrapped up with a neat little bow? Or the one that cuts to black and forces your imagination to write the terrifying next chapter? That choice doesn't just define the story, it defines how we remember it. Thanks for joining us.